Things are about to get weird.
Quite possibly the most Euro concert I've ever seen.
We're blowing the roof off Copenhagen, Denmark.
What are they going to do, arrest us? We're foreigners.
Answering the question, what is this place like to visit?
This is chaotic.
With your family.
Because we're kids.
And why are we asking that question?
I'm making a YouTube video, Rupert.
Because that's what we do here at Window Seat.
Go ahead.
We're taking you to the boats, the bikes,
It's an adventure.
and the back streets that make this city a great family vacation spot. From one of the oldest amusement parks in the world.
It's said that Walt Disney actually found inspiration at this amusement park for his own amusement parks.
It's one of the wildest sets of stairs you've ever climbed.
We are climbing to the top of Copenhagen, Denmark.
We're sinking our teeth into Scandinavia, hoping to get out of here unscathed. In this episode of Window Seat. You don't have to travel very far to realize just how kid-friendly Copenhagen really is. Heck, they have playgrounds right there in the medians, trampolines built into their sidewalks, hammocks for nap time right in between two lanes of traffic. This place really is a playground for young and old, and there's likely no greater playground here than Tivoli. A national treasure and an international attraction. Tivoli Amusement Park and Pleasure Garden first opened in August 1843. That makes it the third oldest amusement park on the entire planet. Even after all these years, it is still one of the most visited amusement parks in all of Europe. It's in the top 5 every year, about 5 million visitors. So that means expect really long lines when you get here. And also, it's not cheap. Cost a family of 4 about $250, and we just came for the evening. A lot of money, yes, but we wanted to come here because it is one of the most iconic family spots in all of Copenhagen. From the Ferris wheel, to the roller coaster, to the exceedingly fun bumper cars, we had a blast. This roller coaster is the oldest and most popular here. It dates back to 1914.
So fairy tale writer Hans Christian Andersen came here to Tivoli several times. It's said that Walt Disney actually found inspiration at this amusement park for his own amusement parks. And what's also unique about Tivoli is it's right in the middle of town. It sits right in the center of Copenhagen, right across from the main train station. It's easily accessible. It is a staple of this awesome town.
The place is the perfect mix of magic and nostalgia, and it's hard to believe they were able to cram this much fun in just a couple of city blocks. Despite the long lines, we were able to squeeze in quite a few rides during our few hours here. They also recently added Villa Vendetta. It's a permanent haunted house with paid actors where fright awaits you in 12 different haunted rooms. And at dinner time, we had a million options with the food hall here. It was just about every kind of food you can imagine from every corner of the globe. And it's open to the outside, too, which means you don't even have to have a ticket to Tivoli Park to eat here. You can enter from the sidewalk near the train station outside. It's hard to find a seat, and like everything in Scandinavia, it's a little pricey, but choices here abound, and everyone will find something to suit their taste. As night begins to fall, the place is bathed in light, and the gardens are even more gorgeous than they were just a couple of hours before. And talk about a place with a storied history. Bombing during World War II actually destroyed many of the park's buildings, including the old concert hall, but it's all been rebuilt and better than ever. And of all the fun things we did during our entire trip to Scandinavia, our kids say this place was their absolute favorite. A little expensive, yes, but if you're coming to Copenhagen with children, Tivoli has got to be the first stop on your list. Next on the list, a Copenhagen Canal tour. There are a few different companies that give them, and they depart every few minutes, and you can catch them in several different spots around town. We'll put a link to the tour we booked in the description below. Ours departed from the iconic Nyhavn. That's the colorful canal front row of shops and restaurants that you see in all the photos of Copenhagen.
Im 18. Jahrhundert Monopol auf dänischem Handel östlich vom Kap der Guten Hoffnung hatte.
Our tour guide was fluent in 4 different languages, so no matter where you come from, you can probably understand what he's saying. And even if you don't, doesn't matter much. You'll be so swept up by the views, you likely won't even be paying all that much attention. Our kids got a huge kick out of the fact that the tour boat barely fit under most of the canal bridges. They could actually reach up and touch the underside of the road above them. The adults on board got a kick out of the quiet canals that line Old Town Copenhagen, home to gorgeous architecture, pristine houseboats, quiet, clean neighborhoods. It's a stunning view at every turn, and it is not to be missed. Once we got out into the open harbor, the tour gave us a real window into the history and culture of this captivating city. From the jaw-dropping Copenhagen Opera House, a modern marvel 14 stories tall, 5 of which are underwater. Built in 2001, but it still looks like it opened just yesterday. Also on the tour, a distant view of the stunning home of the Danish royal family, the palace right in the heart of Copenhagen. We'll give you an up-close view of this place in just a minute. We also saw the 800-year-old Christiansborg Palace, its reception rooms often home to state dinners. And then there's this stunning piece of architecture, the Black Diamond Library, right here on the harbor front. Inside, in addition to a lot of books, you'll find a restaurant, cafe, and concert hall. Again, this building is 24 years old, but it looks brand new, which gives you an idea just how cutting-edge Scandinavian architecture really is. And no canal tour would be complete without passing by perhaps Copenhagen's most iconic tourist attraction, the famous Little Mermaid sculpture. Positioned in the rocks on the edge of the harbor, the 110-year-old statue sits perched by the pier. Inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's famous fairy tale about a mermaid who gives up everything to spend her life with a prince on land. The sculpture is small and unassuming, but it looms large in Copenhagen's history and culture, and you can't miss it.
The boat rides cost about $25 per person. Well worth it. It's money well spent. You get a great view of Copenhagen. Plus, you get to relax a little bit and learn the history in a fascinating way by one of these really well-informed tour guides.
The tour ends as the sun begins to set over Nyhavn, and judging from the looks and the sounds of what we encounter when we disembark, this is exactly when this part of town comes alive. Blasting from the sidewalk, the techno sounds of Scandinavia's version of a street performer.
It's quite possibly the most Euro concert I've ever seen. Impromptu, on the streets, very techno, very Avicii, very fun.
It sets the perfect tone for an evening in this iconic neighborhood with a history as colorful as its storefronts. This used to be Copenhagen's commercial port, where ships from all over the world would dock, once packed with sailors crowding into pubs and alehouses and mixing it up with ladies of the evening.
It's hard to find a time of day when this neighborhood is not busy. It seems like there is a crowd of people round the clock, but that's okay. It's part of the experience.
These days, crowds of tourists have replaced those sailors. The buildings have all been renovated, and this has become the gathering point to take in Copenhagen culture, sip a beer in a sidewalk cafe, or take your kids to one of the many ice cream and sweet shops that line the canal front. One of the popular treats around here is churros, which is odd given that it's a Spanish dessert, but we'll give it a go. Perfect. Really good. If you're coming to Copenhagen, believe me, you are coming to Nyhavn, and young and old alike will find something to enjoy right here.
Ready?
Next on our list of things to do with kids in Copenhagen is to take off on 2 wheels.
Oh, that's much better.
When you think bikes in Europe, you probably think Amsterdam, but in reality, Copenhagen leads the way when it comes to bicycles.
There you go.
There are more bikes than people in this town, an estimated 675,000 bicycles. And they say a staggering 62% of local residents use their bikes every day versus 36% in Amsterdam.
I think they went left.
Bikes are everywhere. Not sure I've ever been anywhere where bicycling is such a big part of the culture of the city. I mean, there are bikes on every street. There are bike lanes on every street. Very protected way to travel around town.
I don't know.
And we quickly realized why. This is the most efficient and fun way to get around Denmark's capital.
Sorry.
We got 4 bikes for a couple of hours. It cost about $100 total, which is not exactly a bargain, but you know, that's all right. Fun way to get out, sort of act like a local, because literally everybody in this town is on a bike. There's more bikes than cars. It's crazy. So if you want to feel like a real Scandinavian, get on 2 wheels.
Just a minute.
We wheeled past historic buildings, beautiful parks, getting a great view of a breathtaking city. And sightseeing is not the only benefit of doing this. It's also a pretty good way to burn some of those vacation calories, all the cheeses, meats, danishes, fish and chips, the Carlsbergs. Get on a bike, burn a few calories on the side streets of Copenhagen. Can't beat it. There are lots of bike rental shops around town, bikes of all shapes and sizes for you and your kids, and honestly, your children are gonna love this. It is such a fun way to get around here. Assuming you escaped the bike ride with no cuts and bruises, now is the perfect time to explore the side streets, back alleys, and green spaces of this place. After just a couple of days exploring Copenhagen, we realized this was our favorite spot in all of Scandinavia. It is just such a cool town, filled with cool people and cool things to see and do.
Pretty much everywhere you turn in this city, there's some other historical building, some great park, some museum to visit, and they're great for kids.
We explored the King's Garden, the country's oldest royal garden, a great place for a summer picnic. They say 3 million people visit these gardens every year. We also stumbled onto the famous and iconic windmill dating back to 1847 at the Kastellet, also known as the Citadel. It's one of the best preserved fortresses in northern Europe. The place is surrounded by a moat, and you enter through the King's Gate, which dates all the way back to 1663. Once inside, you'll see the striking commander's house where the military leader lived. This place is still an active military spot that belongs to the Ministry of Defense. It's still heavily guarded too, but it's wide open to tourists who want to take in the stunning grounds. And best of all for families, it's free. One of the few things in this city you can say that about. Also nearby, we found this striking war memorial. It's a monument for Denmark's international efforts since 1948. On it, a list of fallen Danish soldiers and an eternal flame lit in their honor. There is so much history, your kids might grow tired of it all, but try to keep them entertained long enough to check out the Royal Palace. If you have any interest in monarchies, you are going to love this place.
The Royal Palace isn't one building, it's actually 4. They're all identical and they surround this courtyard right in the center of Copenhagen. It is home to one of the world's oldest monarchies.
The Royal House of Denmark has existed for more than 1,000 years, and a trip here will give you a taste of what life is like for royalty. We won't give you the whole tour here, but if you're interested, we've got a link to the Royal Palace down below in the video description. And finally, one last stop in Copenhagen with kids, assuming your kids are adventurous.
So I woke up early this morning, booked the ticket online, and I'm headed to the top of that church.
If they're up for the challenge of climbing an external spiral staircase winding around the narrow steeple of a church, you got to take them to the Church of Our Savior.
You actually have to pause and remind yourself to stop along the way because at every turn, every twist, there's a new and amazing view. You will be a little out of breath too, so this is a good chance to catch up on your breathing.
The stairs here were finished in 1752, and they've been thrilling tourists ever since.
There's really no other place in Copenhagen that gives you this kind of view. It's just gorgeous to see from the top.
The famous black and gold tower stands almost 300 feet tall, with gilded external steps that turn 4 times counterclockwise around the steeple. That corkscrew spire is hugely popular.
Then you suddenly reach the top, very narrow stair, probably 6 inches wide, and you can just stand here and soak in the sights, 360-degree views of this amazing part of Denmark.
This is for the most fearless of kids only. Not every child's gonna like this. In fact, some adults don't even like it. Sean hated it. This is him right here, scared to death. We have an entire episode dedicated to the Church of Our Savior, and you can find it in the link at the top right of your screen right now, and we also have a link in the description below. This is a really cool place to visit in Copenhagen. It's inexpensive, and it's truly unforgettable.
Now you've been to the top of Copenhagen, Denmark, via a really weird spiral golden staircase on the outside steeple of a church.
Fact is, this entire city's unforgettable. Seriously, it's one of the best places we've ever been as a family, and we can't wait to go back. From bike rides to roller coaster rides to boat rides, you will make memories here. No 2 ways about it.
All right, so there you have it. Vacation in Copenhagen with children. It can be done. It can be done relatively on the cheap as well. There are lots of ways to do it, and hopefully this video showed you some of them. That's it for this episode of Window Seat. I'm Jeremy Hubbard in Copenhagen, Denmark. We'll see you back here next week.
We are back next Friday with a brand new video as we continue our travels all around the world. Please leave a comment below if we missed something in Copenhagen, or if you have any suggestion on where we should travel next. And hit like and share if you're so inclined to. We'd also love it if you hit subscribe and follow our adventures as we dish out money-saving, globe-trotting tips. And also, don't forget to check out one of these other episodes from Window Seat.